Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a trying new makeup with a bunch of the things that I hauled in my recent Sephora sale haul, as well as a couple extra things that I wanted to test out for a full face of trying new makeup. I have a ton of new brushes to test out for this as well. A whole set from BK Beauty. I have a couple Nars ones, my new Huda Beauty one as well. We'll see what we end up playing around with for brushes. I have a little bit of skincare, new Rare Beauty, Nars, Fenty. We have Milk Cosmetics, Gucci, HINDASH, Kiss, Too Faced. We just have a bunch of stuff here. I'm going to also try and even out my tan with the Fenty body sauce at the end of the video as well, because we have some issues going on. I thought it would be the perfect time to do that too. So if you like trying new makeups, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up as it helps me out a lot. Subscribe before you leave. Hit the bell if you want to be notified of all my future videos, and let's go ahead and begin. For eyes, I have this L'Oreal Age Perfect Rosy Tone eye cream. It looks like this. It does have a tint to it, and I thought it would be kind of cool to test it on camera and see if this does any kind of instant color correcting for underneath my eyes. Granted, I don't have too much darkness underneath my eyes, but I thought, you know what, let's test it out. It's pretty thick. It's like a whipped sort of consistency in here. It dries down quite a bit. It's strange. I thought this would be a little bit more moisturizing. This might be a good under eye primer, but in terms of an eye cream for myself, I feel like I would need something a little bit more hydrating because it's going almost matte underneath my eyes. We'll keep testing that out to see. I honestly don't notice too much of a difference. I'm just having a hard time explaining it because it disappeared, but it is dry, which is so strange. I don't know about that, guys. We'll keep testing out and see, but first impression, it's just not for me. So the next product I want to show you guys on camera. Normally I don't show sunscreen on camera because I apply that right away in the morning, but this is the SUPERGOOP Unseen Sunscreen SPF 40, and I got this in my Sephora haul, and this is water resistant for 40 minutes. It is truly a clear sunscreen, which is fantastic. If you have troubles with white cast on your skin tone, this is literally clear. It's so good. I just wanted to show you guys on camera. If you haven't heard about this stuff, I love it. New favorite facial sunscreen. This feels way more hydrating than that eye cream. And it gives the perfect slip to the skin too. I feel like it would make a really good primer underneath makeup. So I wanted to test that out as well. Letting that sunscreen sink in and hang out on my skin before I go in with some illuminating products and another primer that I wanted to test out. This product I showed in my PR haul recently, and it gives the most juicy appearance to the skin. I cannot wait to test this on my skin. The thing about this is that it looks reddish pink color. Very dark. And when I initially saw this, I'm like, oh no, I'm not putting that all over my face. But just wait and see how juicy this makes the skin. It truly just goes in clear and gives the most beautiful, just juicy look to the skin. Super dewy, hydrated look to the skin. It is so beautiful. And don't worry about it tinting your skin because it doesn't do that. It does dry clear. Just at first, me rubbing in my skin, just me touching it in general, my skin goes red. So it's not the product. It does eventually just kind of melt into your skin and give it the most just dewy glow ever. It's so pretty. But I haven't tested out how this wears underneath makeup because it does feel almost jelly-like when you apply it to the skin. And then I picked up the new Rare Beauty primer. This one's supposed to be for pores. And I'm just going to take a little bit of this on my T-zone. This has dimethicone in it, so it does mattify and smooth out the area. Dimethicone primers aren't my personal favorite type, and I honestly would just buy the Radiance primer, the first one that Selena Gomez did for Rare Beauty, then purchase the Pore one again, even though you guys know I love a good pore filling primer. For complexion, I'm using the Fenty Beauty Tinted Moisturizer. This is their Eavesdrop Blurring Skin Tint, and I got the shade 11. This is my favorite complexion product that Fenty has done to date, and I'm going to be using the BK Beauty 101 brush to apply this. I got all the BK Beauty brushes sent to me in PR, and I cannot wait to test these out. I hear such great things about them. So we're just going to start off with that much of the product on the back of my hand. You can see kind of the consistency of it. It's going to be a pretty good color match for me. Normally I'm 290 in the Fenty foundation shades, and it matched 11 to me. And yeah, it's going to be perfect. So this is a light coverage product that can build to a medium. You're not going to get full coverage with this, but I really love the consistency, the finish, the wear of this product. It's really nice. I don't find it does too much blurring on my skin. I do feel like a good powder on top of this foundation goes hand in hand with it for me personally, to give me the smoothness that I want for my skin. But just for coverage and how this wears, this is really nice for a daily wear product. Nice and thin, super lightweight. And as I said, a nice buildable to medium coverage, nothing too heavy. Also, just note that this foundation is a little bit more matte on my skin without all the skin prep that I did. I wanted to make this more of a glowy look today. For concealer, I'm just going to use the Fenty Beauty one. This is quite a bit lighter than my foundation, so I'm just going to use a little bit of this underneath my eyes, and then I'm going to go back in with my foundation brush and just go over the concealer just to color correct it to my skin. But I find this consistency pairs really nicely with the Fenty product, which makes sense because same brand, but you can tell it's way too light. But as I said, I'm just going to use a little bit, as this is a fairly light coverage makeup look. You can see super light, don't want that. I just like the formula of it. So I'm just going to go back in with my foundation brush just to color correct that. I forgot I have this concealer that I have not tried before. I just got it in from DERMABLEND. It's their Cover Care Full Coverage Concealer. I just wanted to try that a little bit underneath my eyes to see if I can cover up my dark spots there. And I do have a blemish as well beside it. I can noticeably see those two things, and I just want to see maybe if this does have really good coverage. And I'm just gonna put it over here too, just so it doesn't look weird. It definitely has way better coverage. I can still see a little bit, but that's okay, because I want this still to be fairly natural look. Sticking with creams, I'm going to go in with the new Nars Sunkissed Bronzing Cream in Casino. Looks like this. I've heard such good things about this formula, and I also have the brush to use with this. Seems to be blending in really nice with the face. I, however, feel like I really need to powder just to bring it all together, because my under eyes are still looking a little bit light for me. But I promise it will all come together. I was worried this cream product, particularly on top of the Fenty, might do a little bit of lifting. But so far the formulas are working nicely together. But my under eyes are super light. Then the last cream product I'm going to be using is the Melt Cosmetics Cream Blushlight in Honey Thief. This is beautiful creamsicle color. Creamsicle. I'm like creamsicle. I don't know what I said there. So I'm just going to take a little bit on this part of my sponge. Such a pretty color. I just livened up the face. I'm going to go a little bit heavier handed with this because I am going to be putting a powder foundation on top. Then to tie everything together, because you can see kind of the contrast between some things, it doesn't look overly blended. And this was my intention, to use this on top. I wanted a good base though. So I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Freshware Foundation in a powder. And I have the shade Radiant Honey, 245. So I'm just going to press this into my skin. I'm going to do a light dusting first and then go from there. This is just going to add a little bit more coverage, perfect my pores and texture, just set everything in place. And I'm using the BK Beauty 105 brush. So far, I'm really loving the BK Beauty brushes. The Nars one I wouldn't say is a must-have. I wish it was just a tiny bit smaller than Nars one. These two, for me personally, are a match made in heaven. I don't find this gives me the blurring quality I want, but this does, and it adds just a tiny bit more coverage to this if you use a light hand. This can give you way more coverage if you go in heavy-handed, but these two, match made in heaven, I think. So I'm so happy so far with the cream products underneath. And I like how natural that looks, but I feel like I just want a little bit more blush and a little just glaze of bronzer. I wanted to try out the Gucci bronzer on camera for you guys. I have the shade 3, which looks like this. This does have a little bit of a glow to it, which I've personally really been liking lately. I feel like that will pair really nicely with this look. So I'm just gonna take a little bit on a BK Beauty 103 brush and just a light dusting. I don't honestly want too much more bronzer. I'm liking how everything's meshed together right now. I'm honestly really happy with all the products that I purchased from the Sephora sale and using them in this video for you guys. This is honestly one of the best sales for me in terms of my happiness with products. So I'm just going in just a little bit more blush because I want to show you how it builds on top of powder too. Completely set face, it's not doing any lifting. Just a really easy to work with formula. For eyes, I wanted to try out one of these L'Oreal Age Perfect Cream eyeshadows. And I have Timeless Taupe here. I'll probably add a little bit of my bronzer because I feel like that's going to be a little too cool tone. I just wanted to see how this works on the eyes. This is a BK Beauty 207. And I hope I don't regret this decision. It's a really nice formula. It is very cool tone. I thought this would make honestly a good just touch of coolness for contour. This was kind of just testing out the formula. And I do really like it. We'll see if it creases though, because that's often an issue I have with cream eyeshadows, that they can crease. So I hope this dries down for me. Finger just to blend out the edges. Super easy to work with. Got a lot of playtime with these, which could be a bad thing. It's good for right now, but we'll see if they actually do settle down. I'm actually just going to use a little bit just on the very back portion of my cheekbone to see how this plays on the face. It's going to be very cool, so I'm just going to go at the very back and blend it in to kind of give a hollow look. And I just want to warm up the crease ever so slightly and kind of set down that cream. I'm going to be dipping into my HINDASH palette, which I have been absolutely loving. This is so good. I do want to do a more dramatic look using this, as well as use this on my face, because every time I've been wearing this, you guys ask what I've done for my makeup, and it's this palette on my face and eyes. It's so versatile. I love the colors. And you guys especially love this shade as a blush on me. So I love this palette. But I'm just doing a basic eye look because this is more skin focused today. So I'm just dipping into Tan plus Feel and getting my custom crease color. You know what? I actually changed my mind. I'm going to go into that peachy tone color because I love this. And I might actually set my face. Set my whole face. No, I'll set my blush with that color. Just want a little touch of the peach to tie in the cheeks. We're just playing around with everything today. Just really sweeping and blending this out. Then I will be using the Kiss Magnetic Liner to do my wings today because I will be wearing a new pair of magnetic lashes, and these are the Entice style from Kiss. And then I will also be going in with the Morphe Make It Big Mascara, which I got in my Sephora sale haul. I just picked up the mini to try because my friend Stephanie Babs Beauty, she raves about this, and I wanted to test it out for myself. So we're going to be using that. But first of all, we're going to get quiet and go to our liner. Liner in general, but magnetic liner, I just got to be careful. Need my quiet when I do this. Always remember to shake these up before you go in and use them. The problem with the magnetic liner, I always get in my lashes and then it's hard to get out. And then it makes my mascara look clumpy. So this mascara isn't this clump in my lash. That's the liner that I got in it. There we go, pulled it out. I like how these bristles grip the lashes. I love the brush of the Morphe mascara. I wish it was a little less dry, the formula, but overall it did a good job on my lashes. And then I'm going to be using the pair of magnetic lashes. Just going to see how long they are on my eyes and if I need to cut any of the magnets off. Just cutting off one of the magnets because it was just slightly too big on my eye. I couldn't get the inner corner to stick down properly. Just taking a little bit of my Charlotte Tilbury powder to set my under eye area. Taking the BK Beauty 107 brush, I'm just going to put that into Boy Wonder and focus on the boy side. Lightly put this to set my blush. I love that palette so much. I love that blush. Where the magnets are positioned on these eyelashes, I wish it was slightly positioned more like that for the lift. Otherwise, they won't stick on my eyes, so they're kind of a little droopy on my eyes right now. I find these are perfect if you use them as half lashes and cut off a good portion. That's kind of how I've been utilizing my magnetic lashes lately, because the full strip, for whatever reason, where the magnets stick on my inner corner, just makes it a little bit droopy for me. It's not all the pairs though, it's just some of them. Like this one I do find is just slightly droopy. Then for lips, I wanted to use one of the new Too Faced Lip Injection liquid lipsticks. These are really cool because they're a liquid lipstick in that lip injection form. So they do give you some plumping, but they are a liquid lipstick. So I think the formula is really cool. It does do a nice job at plumping the lips, and it's a super comfortable liquid lipstick formula. They don't dry out my lips at all. I was really impressed with the formula. I don't use too many liquid lipsticks. I have a couple favorites, but this formula was really, really nice. And I'm going to be using the red shade, surprise, surprise. I'm just gonna line my lips quickly with MAC Cherry, and then I'm gonna fill in my lips with the lip injection in Infatuated. I thought the last thing we could try out is the Fenty Beauty Body Sauce, and I got the shade Agave Spice. And we're going to correct this tan of mine, see how it works. Right now I feel like I'm matched to my body, and if this makes me a little too dark, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just trying it out for you guys. So we're gonna test this out and see how it goes. I'm also gonna wear white on top of this to see how much transfer we get and whether it washes out of my clothes or not. I'll update you guys in the video regardless. I wanted to show you the color on camera and just how it applies. I am wearing a top, just so you know. This was the shade that I was told would match me best, and I hear this dries down quite fast. This has an air pump, which I absolutely hate. I hate all air pumps because sometimes it can get stuck and you gotta work the tube, and it's just a whole lot of work involved with it. So we're gonna use Agave Spice. I have this iconic London brush I've never used before, and I heard you have to work quick with this. So I'm just going to pump a little bit on here. Looks like that. This obviously would be less streaky if I wasn't doing it backwards in a viewfinder. This is just supposed to lightly even out your skin, give you a subtle glow. And I think this is going to be the perfect color for me. I'm very happy with the choice of Agave Spice. It does dry down quite fast. I'm going to quickly try and do the rest off camera because this is kind of hard to do, filming backwards. But you can definitely tell the difference between this shoulder, No Love, and this one. That's a little bit needing to blend. But you can tell. Like, we have some glow. Obviously, it looks a little bit patchy right now, but that's because this is just hard to do on film. This is what the body sauce looks like. It does give a nice glow. I thought it would be more so a body tint than a glow, but I see the glow a lot. Just shimmying. So I definitely need a little bit more bronzer on my face, but overall, it was a good match to my tan. Like, you could see side by side with my arms, just the perfecting quality between the one that didn't and the one that did. Overall, I was very happy with it. I do feel it's slightly in spots drying down, but in other places, it dries down much, much quicker than other products I've tried like this in the past. It's almost like an instant tan, and I wonder how this will last on the skin. I feel it more so on my arms because that was the last place I did on my body, but right now, so far so good. I feel the brush actually buffed it out quite nicely when I actually had the time to do that off camera. Obviously, I'm gonna update you guys and keep testing everything out. I'm just gonna go ahead, jump off camera, get dressed, fix my hair, come back, and we're gonna discuss all the products further. This is the completed look, and I'm gonna go over each product, share with you my final thoughts. So for my sunscreen, 100%, if you're looking for something that's totally clear, doesn't give a cast on your face, changes the color of your skin, you know what I'm talking about. I am very happy to have discovered this. This is gonna be my go-to. I was already telling my husband how much I love this and how he's gonna love it too, because we just hate the white cast on our face in the summer. The Nars Illuminator from the Euphoria collection, This is beautiful, but I wouldn't recommend it all over the face like I did for those with oily skin, just because you can see through the foundation, which normally draws down a little bit more on my skin. It's not normally this dewy. This gives a good amount of dew to the skin. So I really, really like this. Next time I'll probably use a little bit less though, but I think it still looks really pretty and it gives that tinted moisturizer even more glow to my skin. So I really enjoyed that. The Rare Beauty Pore Diffusing Primer, I personally would skip on. I'm glad that I have the mini of this because I do much prefer the illuminating one. I'm just not that big of a fan of dimethicone primer, so this was just, you know, it was okay. It wasn't anything that I would repurchase again though. The Fenty Beauty Skin Tint, I love this for daily wear. Just gives a nice coverage to the skin. It's nothing heavy, it's super lightweight, and it just looks natural on my skin. So I do really like this. However, I like to have a good powder to go along with it, and I think these two are a match made in heaven. So I really love the L'Oreal Infallible Freshware foundation. I don't like this as a powder foundation. I personally don't use powder foundations because they just don't work for my skin, quite frankly. I need them on top of something nice and dewy to kind of soak in the powder, smooth out my skin, but just work a little bit better for my skin. But these two, if you have my skin type, perfect together. The Gucci bronzer, I love. I don't think you necessarily have to go out and get this though. It's one of those products that it's nice to have, but not something that's going to be a game changer for me. Just gives a nice glow to the skin, works nicely with my coloring number 3. So it is a nice to have product. I'm not going to tell you to run out and buy it though. Then the Melt Cream Blush and Honey Thief. This formula, you guys, it is so good, and this color, beautiful. Paired with the HINDASH palette, I use the one shade for blush, this shade Boy. Plus use this lightly on my eyes. As I said in the video, I do want to do like a dramatic look with this, but this is so good. It's one of my favorite palettes, if not my favorite palette currently right now, just because you can get so much variety out of these shades, mix and match, use them on the face, the eyes. It's just a fantastic palette right here. The Nars bronzing brush, I would pass on personally. It was nice, but I feel like it could be a little bit smaller for my preference. The BK Beauty brushes though, big fan of. They're super soft. I love the fibers and the densities of these. They're so perfect. I only tried out a few this time. I have so many more to try in future videos, but the ones I did try today, all of them I love. The Nars cream bronzer, this is really pretty. It did look more cool tone than I thought on my skin, but I did really like this formula. It blended out nicely. It's super lightweight on the skin, hasn't moved. It just looks really natural. I love the shade Casino. I'm happy to have this. This L'Oreal Age Perfect Rosy Tone Eye Cream. I don't know what to say about this. This was the most odd experience underneath my eyes. It honestly went dry on me. It was so strange, the consistency of it. So I wouldn't recommend that. Granted, my eyes look fine, but I'm gonna have to play around with it some more. But right off the hop, like I just didn't like how it felt underneath my eyes. And then the L'Oreal Age Perfect Cream Eyeshadow. This was really nice. I feel like it did blend out, and you could easily blend this out to nothing. Like they're super, super creamy. So I worry about the wear of this, but that I will have to test out more in the future. Easy to work with formula, but I'm concerned about the wear. Like, is it gonna disappear on me? The Morphe Make It Big Mascara. It was a decent mascara. Wasn't horrible, not my favorite, but it's a decent mascara. I can see why Stephanie likes it. It looks amazing on her lashes. And then the Too Faced Lip Injection Liquid Lipstick. The color is beautiful. The formula is really nice. These are less plumping than the lip glosses, even though they're the lip injection in here. It's not the extreme. So this is just a nice light lip injection sort of feeling to your lips. It does plump up slightly, but it does dissipate after time, just like the lip glosses if you've ever tried it. These don't burn my lips like the lip glosses do, so they're much more comfortable in terms of the plumping, and in terms of the liquid lipstick formula, much more comfortable for a liquid lipstick formula too, because they don't have that super dry feeling to the lips. They stay kind of moist on the lips, but not too moist where it's getting on my teeth or anything like that. It's the perfect amount of moisture to where it's not going to dry out my lips, but I feel like it's still long wearing enough for me. The magnetic lashes, I'm a huge fan of. It's the only way I can wear liner plus lashes now, because if I use glue and lashes on regular liner, my eyes puff up. So I really like this option for me, being someone who's sensitive to lash glue and liner. It's a really great option. I do much prefer the magnetic lashes when I cut them a little bit shorter because they can go a little droopy on my eyes just where the magnets are placed, but I love them. Like, I will always keep repurchasing magnetic lashes. I'm a huge fan of them. And then the last product is the Fenty Beauty Body Sauce. And there is a little bit of transfer. I decided to wear a top where, you know, constantly goes up on your shoulder like that and you have to tug it down just to see, and you can see like there is some transfer on there, but it's not to the point where it has come off. I didn't do my back, so don't look there. But on the part that I did, it hasn't come off there. It doesn't look patchy or anything like that. It looks even, and it just added some color to my skin. So this would more so be my summer color because it did add a little bit of color to my skin. It still matched it in terms of the undertone quite well. So if you're similar to me, I would recommend number 3, Agave Spice. I believe the honey shade is a little bit more red, and then the light one might work better for me, not summer shade. So I might pick up that one too. This is kind of pricey though. I honestly don't know how much I'm going to use this, but it is pretty. If you just want to even out your skin, you have some glow, and you have maybe a special occasion you want to wear this to, do some videos, some photos, I don't know. That's kind of how I think. It's like makeup for the body if you want that sort of thing and you're in the market for something like that. It's not something I'm going to use all the time, you know? So it's just one of those nice to have things if you need something like this that gives you that extra something, the perfecting qualities to your body. It's really beautiful. Slight transfer does come off on white. I'll let you know how it washes out. I don't foresee there being a problem, honestly, because my tan always comes out of my white clothes, and I can't see this being any worse than that. But overall, I'm very happy with the product. Some duds in here, but mostly good things. I find the look is really pretty, nice and light and fresh with a bold lip, some beautiful lashes, and a nice simple wing. So really simple makeup. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, kind of me trying out all these products, maybe found some new things to try, maybe some things to pass on. I hope this is beneficial to you. I know it was a super long one, but I wanted to give in-depth reviews at the end on all these products I use. So if I happen to forget something, I'm sorry. I will leave it in the description box. I feel like this video is already 45 minutes long. So that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Please give it a thumbs up if you want me to continue to do these trying new makeups. I think they're very beneficial to see things applied on the face, and it helps me out know if you guys actually like these sort of videos. Also, be sure to subscribe before you leave. I know a bunch of you haven't already, and I would love for you to join the family, so please hit that red button, the bell, if you want to be notified of all my future videos, and I will see you guys in my next one.